Swamp, and I guess we have Kaya's Wrath could save us. Wow, do we ever need it right here? No, we don't get it, you guys. So we're definitely dead next turn. We could try to pull a Swamp just for the sake of getting it done. We gain 1 life, but we're taking a ton of damage next turn. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's game. And we fell a little short. We had the cries. We could have made it happen, but the land pool just wasn't there, which is kind of what we circled back to, right? These decks are really reliant on 12 rare lands. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to check out Hello Good Game. Today we're going to continue along with our Magic the Gathering Arena free-to-play budget guide for beginners. We've took a look at all the monocolors, all the dual colors, and we're dipping our toes into the 3-color decks, which admittedly is not easy and maybe not recommendable for beginner players unless they're looking to have fun and experience other archetypes. If they're looking to grind the ladder or really quickly get those quests done, etc., the farming, maybe this isn't the greatest way because you're probably going to be losing a lot of games just due to the lack of consistency. So if you're looking for something more consistent or just maybe another color combination, anything else in the free-to-play budget beginner guide series, there's a link down below in the description that's going to take you to a playlist for all of that, so make sure to check that out. And today we are playing Budget Esper. So, we have 1 Duress, 1 Hero of Precinct One, 3 Drowned in the Lock, 4 Thought Erasures, 2 Tyrant Scorns, 3 Golden Eggs, 3 Guild Globes, 1 Dance of the Manse, 2 Prison Realms, 4 Narsets, 4 Cry of the Carnarium, 1 Teferi, 1 Oath of Kaya, 1 Chromatic Lantern, 1 Alela, Artful, Provocateur, 2 Revenge of Ravens, 1 Doom Foretold, 1 Kaya's Wrath, 1 Time Wipe. And then we have 4 plains, 7 islands, 8 swamps, a tranquil clove, scourged barrens, dismissal, blackwater, blast zone, etc., etc. And we are actually going to pump those up to at least 2 to 3 each. Yeah, we're going to go on 3, I think. We'll craft those right away. Those are just commons, so you shouldn't have any problem with that. And we'll quickly balance our land and drop. I guess it doesn't matter so much, but probably well, no, we need double swamp for Cry and double island for Narset. So we'll drop the swamp to keep it even there. So, not much going on. Obviously, we've got the early discard for your opponent, so we can get Duress and Thought Erasure out, take some of those threats out of our opponent's hand and just deal with that immediately. We also have wipes, so any aggro decks, any creature-based decks, right? So if it's any small creatures, we want to use like Cry of the Carnarium for like a red deck or a black deck. A side note here, any cats, Cauldron Familiars through the Witch's Ovens, Cry of the Carnarium is going to have those exiled because any creatures that die this turn will be exiled instead. So that's an easy answer to that. We also have Kaya's Wrath for a wipe. So that's great. A little bit more protection from aggro decks with Revenge of Ravens. This is just going to gain us life and take them down as they attack us. We have Hero of the Precinct One. This is going to just kind of give us a little bit of field presence if we can get it out. This is one of our rares. I don't think I've said this yet, but our budget decks do use 1 mythic and 6 rares, so kind of easily attainable for new players. And then we're going to do an intermediate series after we're all done this one and kind of buff those numbers up for those of you who've been farming for a little bit, right? So Hero's going to do field presence for us, and then we have Golden Egg, Guild Globe for draw engines for ourselves. Narset is kind of a draw engine as well, and then Teferi has a draw engine hooked to him as well. Ideally, we're bouncing our Oath of Kaya with our Teferi. Just to recast it again, right? Alela, this is going to give us some field presence as well. So other creatures you control with flying get +1/+0, and then whenever we're casting an artifact or enchantment, which is what the deck is made up of, we're going to create a 1/1 blue fairy with flying, so it'll be a 2/1 with flying. So that combined with hero should be enough field presence to deal damage to other control style decks, right? And then we've got the wipes for aggro decks. Chromatic Lantern is another rare that we've included just to kind of fix the mana pool up a little bit. Obviously, you could include the rare lands as well, but I didn't this time as an Esper deck, just because there are so many rares that you need in an Esper deck to make it work. We did include Blast Zone, though. This is a great way to deal with Witch's Oven as well, right? We can just knock all of those off the field immediately. I think that's about it. Drown in the Lock is removal / counter. Tyrant Scorn is, I guess, bounce or a delay effect, if you will, because you are like basically putting your opponent back however many mana and a turn, which is great. And then you can also remove anything with converted mana cost 3 or less, which is great. And I believe we had a Murderous Rider in here. I'm not seeing him now, though. That could be definitely a card that you put in here as well. I'm just going to do a quick tally to make sure the deck is good. We have a 1 rare here, 2 rares here, 3 with Teferi, 4 with Lantern. There's our mythic, 6, 7, 8. I feel like we have too many now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rares. So we need to trim some rares. I don't know what I've got myself into here. I guess we can toss Time Wipe potentially. And Lantern. I like Lantern, but here it might not be so good. And then we'll just buff our Duress amount. Not sure how I let this slip through yesterday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's our rare. Perfect. So we've got it balanced now. So you'll see the changes that we did make. Chromatic Lantern goes out, so the land is going to be less balanced. And then we also dropped a Time Wipe, so we're having a little bit less luck with aggro. But 4 Cry of the Carnarium should hold us through and be enough to get us there. And then, of course, we just put in a couple more Duress. It's just an Esper friendly card in general. Obviously, maybe not great against the aggro decks, but that's why we have all the wipes as well. So we want to make sure that we have wipes for aggro decks, the wipes, and the counters, or the token generation or the field presence for the other control decks, right? So if we can cover both of those bases, we should be all right. And then through Thought Erasure and Duress, we can kind of take out those key components that our opponent has in their hand. We're going to keep this just because we're sitting on a hero. It's going to be a slow start, but as a budget player, it is often a slow start, so really there's no worries there. And we do sneak into a turn 2 Thought Erasure, which he can probably counter. So we're just going to stack our slow lands here. He definitely has a Brineborn Cutthroat, just chilling. So we're gonna have to deal with that. We did move into the new studio officially. I did my first live today. It went all right. It was good for about the first 40 minutes, and then for the last 20 minutes, we ran into some connection issues, which was less than ideal, but I set up my own router. I've got a cell phone booster in here as well, so it should be a little friendlier that way. We just have to fix our audio for the game quickly. We're all over the place today. And then, yeah, let's Duress just to see, right? And he does not have any counters. We thought this was a Cynic deck, but now we know it's a Temur. I think obviously we just take Growth Spiral because that's a draw. Right, and now he is going to step on our hero, which is unfortunate, and he has 2 of them, which is less than ideal, right? So let's get that Thought Erasure in now. If he doesn't cast his Brazen Borrower as a creature, I think I'm going to take it instead. Obviously, I want the Bone Crusher Giant gone and dealt with, but at the same time, Brazen Borrower is just so good, right? We're going to take the Giant, though. We sit on another Thought Erasure, which is probably going to help us quite a bit. So we can take the second Giant, and then we should be able to get our hero out. Let's check that hand out one more time. And he's actually going to counter this one, which is... it's nice. It's good for him, right? Let's get that draw in. Fire the Carnarium. So we have a little bit of a wipe. Obviously, that helps us with his fairy, but the Bone Crusher Giant is going to survive that. Getting a little bit of life here. And let's toss Revenge of the Ravens out. Obviously, he can return this to our hand with his Borrower, which is a pretty good tempo play, right? Kind of takes the pace, sets us back 4 mana and a turn. He wastes his Bone Crusher Giant on us, so we should be free to play our hero and then destroy his Bone Crusher Giant. Right? So play the land. Kind of running out of cards, so we're looking for a draw engine. And then we're destroying his Bone Crusher Giant, taking a little bit of damage, but starting to create those tokens. And he Brazen borrowed the token. That's incredibly interesting. Maybe not necessarily the play I would have went for, but he does have another Giant to step on my hero, so again, very slick moves. Let's pass. We can resolve this. We can actually deal with that next turn. It almost might be beneficial for me to let this thing attack me for a while. Right? He has 6 cards in the graveyard. So we're just going to cry, get rid of it, and then we can counter his next card. So, because it is a budget deck, we don't have a ton of Doom Foretold, we don't have a ton of Dance of the Manse. So you're kind of just playing classic post-up Esper. Cycle through your artifacts and enchantments, get him on the board, annoy your opponent, try to have him quit and kill himself. But for the most part, you're just chilling, trying to survive, getting those bomb cards, and then just winning the game that way, right? But we have been annoying our opponent pretty efficiently, like the Duress, Thought Erasure, Tyrant Scorn, Hero, and then a Cry. So that's not the worst. We also have Revenge of Ravens out, and life if we need it. He's got land, he has another giant on tap, and then he also has an expansion / explosion. Obviously, he's going to need a couple more red. If he's got Niv Mizzet in his hand, something like this, he could have just left due to a bad hand. Or he's roping us because he's that hardcore, and that's how you win in standard play queue matches. So, with that being said, first day in the new studio, internet was shitty, we talked about that. I'm still able to record and produce content at will, which is really, really good. I think we're going to pop up a green screen in the near future here and kind of up that content level. And then you can get rid of this wacky background of mine. Our kitty cat is settling in pretty nicely. She's here clawing, you can maybe hear her. She's exploring, doing lots of sniffing, etc., etc. Hey Maya, get it, girl. Let's check this out. It'll be better than watching Buddy's match. Oh, I scared her with my chair. Never mind. Anywho, what's new with you guys? I guess. Are you enjoying the budget series so far? Is there anything I can improve about it? Etc. etc. Obviously, we've had some really great feedback so far, which I really appreciate. So I'd like to just keep that coming. And I'm thinking that I've got a couple other guides that would be really good that I could produce. I call them evergreen videos. So the one we did yesterday about how to farm, that's going to be a video that's relevant as long as the game is out. Just kind of like playing historic. That was relevant for quite a while because people couldn't find it in the user interface. So those are the kind of videos that are getting views today, tomorrow, next month, next year. And that's what I really want to start creating. One of those a week at least, while we're staying on top of our current content. So, sadly, that's how a lot of Esper matches are going to go. It's going to be a decent match, back and forth, who knows who's going to win, and then your opponent is just going to exit the game or rope you because he's upset, which is fine. I guess a win's a win's a win, right? So it could be much worse. I don't like this hand. We're sitting on an Narset, which requires 2 blue, a Duress, which could really help us, and our opponent goes first. 2 cries. We better hope he's an aggro deck and we pull another swamp, right? So he's starting slow. We can start slow as well. It's not like he's going to drop Fires of Intention on turn 2, right? So we've got a little bit of time. It is a Sky Knight Vanguard. So I don't foresee anything for 3 really getting us either. So we're going to chill out. We do need to drop before 5. He has Divine Visitation. Jeek, that's alright. We can't take creatures anyways, so that's kind of how it goes. His Vanguard does go out of reach though, which is a little bit annoying for me. We're going to Guild Globe this turn. Next turn we're going to Duress. Dance the Manse is good, but in this situation, I think we just need another swamp as soon as possible. If Sky Knight Vanguard goes to 4 defense, we're kind of screwed. Looking for another swamp, and I guess we have Kaya's Wrath could save us. Wow, do we ever need it right here? No, we don't get it, you guys. So we're definitely dead next turn. We could try to pull a swamp just for the sake of getting it done. We gain 1 life, but we're taking a ton of damage next turn. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's game. and we fell a little short. We had the cries, we could have made it happen, but the land pool just wasn't there, which is kind of what we circled back to, right? These decks are really reliant on 12 rare lands, if not more, because now we have scry lands as well. So if you have the lands, incorporate them into the deck. You're going to see a sharp increase in stability, consistency, win rate, all things like this, right? So that, like I said before, if you have wildcards, spend them on land. It's a wise choice. Or if you're doing drafts and you see those rare lands come up, take those into your collection. It's not a bad start. Okay, so we do get our second island as well, so we're sitting on double Narsets, which is great. We have a golden egg for a draw, sitting on Witch's Oven, so we're kind of looking for a Cry of the Carnarium here with our Narsets. Okay, Leyland Prowler is going to be a little bit of a problem. My cat just went on the roof. We draw another Guild Globe, which we're not going to play yet. We're going to keep that to the side, player Narset, just because it's using the full mana curve. And then next turn, we can drop the egg and the globe together. So again, looking for Cry of the Carnarium because of the oven.
I have just the trick for this.
And probably taking Oath of Kaya just because it's the removal over Duress. And we only have 6 rares. So any time or opportunity you get a chance to pull one of those, go for it. He's sitting on potentially 5 mana next turn though, so that's pretty good for him, I guess, right? Hopefully we're avoiding Nissa. No Nissa, no Nissa, no Nissa. Okay, and it's a Murderous Rider. He's going to take 2 life and attack us. He still has 2. That's fine. Life's not really our worry, I don't think, in this matchup. He's down to 3 cards. And we pulled a Thought Erasure, which couldn't be any better at this point in the game, just because he's so low on cards. Let's see what he's got. Ooh, just another Leyland Prowler, so that is fine with us. We're going to toss the lands. And then we're playing the Guild Globe. That lets us draw. The land is great. That's perfect for next turn. So we'll have 5 next turn. So we're sitting on another. Ooh. That's not good. That is not good. Okay, Prison Realm. Perfect. What a top deck, hey? It's funny because he top decked his Garrick and then we just top decked a Prison Realm to directly deal with it. He does get the 2 wolves out though, which is groovy. Thought Erasure at this point can probably go, I think. He's not going to hold on to anything, right? Let's get the egg out for another draw. Teferi is pretty cool. That's going to allow us to bounce one of these wolves. We also have Oath of Kaya to protect our Teferi, and Revenge of Ravens, which will protect him as well. So we're going to take a little bit of damage. That's all right though. 6 damage here. Ooh. So that's great. Cry's pretty cool, but it's not going to deal with everything like we need. So we can take out his Savvy Hunter. That's pretty easy. He's going to sack it, and then we don't gain life, unfortunately, actually. So we're going to chill. We're taking quite a bit of damage again. I'll destroy his Leyline Prowler if he doesn't drop anything of higher priority. We're going to let this resolve because we think he's going to play his Murderous Rider on top. And we will destroy... Oh, what? He doesn't have 3 cards. He's only got 2 cards in his graveyard. Shit, I thought for sure he had 3. I guess if it's in exile. All right. So we have to cry. We know this. He's got nothing in his hand. We don't have the mana for Drown in the Lock, so we're going to sacrifice this egg to gain life, which I guess is good. And maybe let's hold up and not do that. When you're playing, you always want to hold your priority as an Esper deck because we could have, say, Dovin's Veto in our hand, and now our opponent's got that on his mind, so he might not play that card. Sometimes I even like to look at my hand, right? So he thinks I'm looking at a card that I think I'm going to use in this situation. Right? So we look at it again, pass, keep looking at it. He's like, well, what's he got, right? I don't want to waste this turn. I need to play something. So then he's going to play his Murderous Rider instead, right? At which point that gives us the ability to Duress next turn and hopefully scoop up whatever card he had. Oh, we should have gained life like we wanted. That's our bad. So we're misplaying because we're breaking down our opponent's play. Could be worse. 2 cards. We're going to play Teferi. We're going to bounce his Prowler. If he sacrifices it, that's on him.
I know my responsibility.
Or do we bounce the Oven? I'd rather him sacrifice the Prowler, to be honest. So let's target it, and then hopefully he Witches Ovens it, and then it's dealt with, right? So he just allows us to do it. Get the Duress in there. I guess we could have got rid of his Oven through the Teferi bounce and then Duressing the Oven. And it is a land, so maybe not the greatest play. We're saving ourselves, hopefully, because he's going to want to go in for the kill, which is the thing. So as long as we can direct him away from our health points, we're okay. Because he's going to attack Teferi, take 1 damage, we'll gain 1 life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're able to drop Revenge of Ravens and Narset next turn, which is great. If he leaves Teferi, That's just going to be a bonus for us down the road, right? We want a plus Teferi, and then we're going to do Narset, see what we get, because we need a field wipe. I mean, a cry won't work at this point.
The past, present, and future are bound to meditate and prepare.
View battlefield, we're dead next turn. We have a Drown in the Lock. Let's take a Prison Realm. We should have taken Drown in the Lock and we could have killed both these creatures. I wasn't sure if we had played a land yet or not. We're going to really push the envelope here. Playing our Revenge of Ravens. And that way we should come out of it with 2 life. Both Planeswalkers up. So we're starting to stabilize. And we should have taken Kaya's Wrath. So we could have taken our wipe. Less than ideal. So he's going to kill Teferi. Then hit us with the other. Getting a little bit of life here, which is really nice. We need that in a big, big way.
This is overwhelming.
So back up to 10. We do have enough to fix our mistake, but it's still not really what we want. Right? We're gonna pass and give him the opportunity to attack us again, right? And then we can destroy the things once they've been declared as attackers to just get that extra damage in. Again, we've stabilized. It's still a really good match. Our opponent has a huge opportunity and a chance to kill us. But the fact that he wasn't able to aggro us out, and now we're kind of thinking about things, making it difficult for him, he's probably going to rope and quit eventually. Right, so we're going to let that trigger, which is great. And then we're going to destroy it. He can sacrifice it, that's fine. Not really an issue for us at this point, I don't think. He's not played a single cat. And we've not played a single cry, I don't think. Oh, we might have played one. Yeah. No blockers, not really worried about it. I guess we'll just counter this. Why not, right? Three would chop us down pretty quickly. We still have the Prison Realm, but we're really running low on cards, so we need to gain field presence before this goes on much further. Let's go ahead and gain some life here. check it out. Is it a land? Is it a sorcery? That would be our best bet. Sorcery Planeswalker. No, it's a land. And yeah, we're just gonna sit there. Our opponent's got 43 cards still. We're down to 36. So that's not great. But like I said, if we pull a Doom Foretold or a Dance of the Manse, we're basically laughing. He wants to draw, so he needs to kill my Narset. But he doesn't want it to be in vain again, right? Or he's looking at destroying one of my enchantments or artifacts, potentially. So he gains 1 life, we lose 1 life. It's still a positive conversion for him. A little bit slower of a round than I'd like. And again, we're just chilling. I guess we can use our Thought Erasure for the Surveil. That'll be semi-helpful for us, right? So we'll take that away. And in all honesty, let's get Murderous Rider off the field as well. That'll give us another Scry. I'm pretty sure he's going to oven it, but regardless, the Scry is really important to us at this point. So he lets us take it, and a Tyrant Scorn. You know, I don't mind it. It's not a land. Let's keep it. It's not a bomb, obviously. It's not another Narset, but we should be okay. And it would be cool if Narset didn't allow your opponent to draw, even on their draw step. I think I'd really like that. So that's about the best top deck I've ever seen. He just grabbed a Thrashing Brontodon, and he's going to take his Garruk back. Woof. This guy. So that's problematic, especially since we have a Tyrant Scorn up top. Where I need to just chill on that, I guess. So I have been taking a little bit of Esper guidance from a mentor, if you can call him that. I'm sure he'd appreciate that. But we're going to work together to make some really good Esper content for you guys, especially since I am a creator for Wizards of the Coast. I'm going to get that pre-release for the next set bright and early. So we're going to work as a team to try to bring back Esper. And then we're going to make a series of videos on how to play Esper and like as soon to discuss the various things to that. We're so screwed here, taking 2 damage. I mean, he's just going to put 2 more wolves out. Whew. I don't know what we're going to do about it. Alright, he puts his emblem out. Creatures have +3/+3 in trample. That is a huge goose. But why not just destroy it? So, as an Esper deck, I think you've got the ability to ruin the game, no matter if you're playing a budget version or not. If our opponent didn't have his Garruk out, I'm sure he would not be having fun at this point. We're just sacking that for fun. Why not? We have nothing else to do. That way, at least if we draw a Dance of the Manse, we can use it. Oh my god, those are 5/5 wolves. Ah! I wonder what he's got in his hand, man. So we're just kind of drawing this one out. It's a land. Narset could help us somehow. Yeah, because we're gonna gain 2 life. That takes us to 15, which is great. So he's gonna have to try to finish us again, which is gonna take us to 7, which will be dead. So we absolutely need to wipe the field next turn. We have 3 for Narset, and we have enough on the back end for a Cry. Or, sorry, a Kaya's Wrath if we can pull it. I think it's at the bottom of our deck though, unless we've shuffled. So this is it. Let's see if we can do it. We did take our time wipe out like dummies.
I train every day. No one is more prepared than me. Keep an open
And it's
mind.
not there. Let's hit him with the good game. And show ourselves out. So like I said, I'm not sure Esper is a viable option right now for budget players unless you've got the land. If you guys have the land, put the land in there. That's going to make such a difference. You have no idea. But we do want to continue with the series and finish it out. We started it. We want to finish it. We're going to try to continue to make these decks as viable as possible. And now if you're just playing with your friend, right, some direct challenges, this is still a really fun deck to use, right? If you wanted to try Esper out and try to learn control, what that's like, this is still a really fun deck to use, right? So with that all being said, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, it would be great if you liked the video, gave me a comment, shared what you thought of it. You could even share this video to your friends. And then if you want to reward yourself for all that hard work, go ahead and subscribe and then watch our gem giveaway videos, because we are giving away 500,000 gems to our subscribers. So you could familiarize yourself by watching those videos. With that being said, thank you guys for watching, and thank you so much for all the kind comments lately. Really appreciate all of the gratitude. That's so awesome. And we will be back tomorrow. Make sure to have a great day, and we'll see you then.